So, Microsoft is rolling out some huge new updates for its Copilot AI assistant, and they're baking some seriously powerful capabilities right into Windows. Now, this isn't just a small tweak. We're talking about a pretty fundamental shift in how you're going to interact with your computer, moving way beyond just chatting with an AI to actually creating and organizing your stuff.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You have this amazing brainstorming session with an AI, you get the text just right, and then starts that clumsy dance of highlighting, copying, opening a new app, pasting, and then reformatting everything. It just completely breaks your flow. Well, it turns out that's exactly the problem Microsoft is going after first. All right, so the first major power up is all about making that whole creative process smoother. Microsoft is basically transforming Copilot from just an idea generator into a direct document creator. They're trying to completely close that gap between having a great thought and having a finished file. And you gotta love the official wording from Microsoft here. No extra steps or tools required. That little phrase is everything. The entire goal is to get rid of all that friction and just keep you in that creative zone, So you can keep that momentum going without having to jump between a bunch of different apps. And getting it to work is super simple. It's literally 3 steps. First, you write a nice detailed prompt. Then, once Copilot gives you back a solid response, we're talking over 600 characters, a little export button just appears. You click that once and boom, your idea has a brand new home. And here's the really cool part. You're not just stuck with one file type. You can take that brainstorm and instantly spin it up into a formal Word doc, or maybe organize it into an Excel spreadsheet, build out a PowerPoint, or just save it as a simple PDF. That versatility is a huge, huge plus. But creating documents is really only half the story here. The next big update is all about what Copilot can see. And this is where it starts to feel less like a tool and more like a real digital assistant. So if you've used other AIs, you've probably seen features that let you connect to your cloud storage. Well, Microsoft is doing something similar, but they're pushing it way deeper by tying it directly into your email and your calendars, the places where you actually live and work. And what's really notable here is that this isn't some walled garden. I mean, sure, it works with Microsoft's own stuff like OneDrive and Outlook, but look at this. It also connects to Google's suites, including Gmail and Google Drive. For anyone who uses a mix of tech, that cross-platform support is a game changer. And here's a perfect example of this in action. Just imagine, instead of having to dig through a dozen folders in your OneDrive or searching your email archives, you just ask a simple, natural question like, hey, find my dog's vaccination records. Copilot just scans everything you've connected and pulls it right up. It's that easy. Okay, of course, the minute you hear an AI can access your personal data, alarm bells start going off about privacy, right? Well, Microsoft is getting ahead of this by making the whole thing completely opt-in. Copilot won't see a single one of your personal files or emails unless you specifically go into the settings and give it permission. You are 100% in control. Okay, so we've seen the new features. You can create documents, you can connect your personal accounts, but what does it all really add up to? Let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture for all of us using Windows. And you really have to understand, this is just the beginning. These aren't just a couple of one-off features they're bolting on. No, these are the foundational first steps. The end goal is a future where the entire operating system is just deeply woven with AI, making your computer way more personal and, honestly, way more predictive. So the big question is, when can you actually get this? Well, right now, it's rolling out to Windows insiders so they can test it out. After that, it's planned for a general release to all Windows 11 users. And looking even further ahead, Microsoft is already teasing what's next, a totally new AI-powered OneDrive experience that's supposed to be coming next year. All of this leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on. I mean, for decades, we've all organized our digital lives using files and folders. But if you have an assistant that can search and find anything across all your apps with just a simple question, is that assistant about to become the new file folder? It really feels like we're on the verge of a fundamental change in how we find, manage, and interact with our own information.